Hello, 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 everybody. So, I've been finding that it's so much easier for me to actually go live and either on Facebook or now, obviously, or on YouTube so that I can actually just move over this content to my blog on the freedomsupply.society.com website, my website. So, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the topic today, which is about should you use thought work or should you use your emotions when making decisions? And the reason why this came up because there's a lot that I've learned in over the years being a life coach in regards to doing belief work, doing thought work. And I love, love, love all the things about belief work and all the things about thought work. But I started to really dive into and lean into my human design. Well, it was more about leaving the head and getting into the body to make your decisions. And so I wanted to kind of let you guys know what I've been doing to kind of remove a lot of the kind of bouncing back and forth between which one of these should I be doing. I've been taught that I need to be looking at my thoughts because my thoughts create my emotions and my emotions, well, they drive all of your actions. And of course, your actions are ultimately what create your success, your results. So that makes sense to look at. But because you're an emotional being, maybe you are driven by your sacral, as in regards to human design. So when it comes to that, then being in the head and looking at your thoughts is a little bit counterintuitive according to what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So here's what I realized, and you can let me know if this is true for you or if you find this to be like, no, not doing that. That's just crazy. It's ridiculous. Just let me know. But I'm going to tell you what's been working for me. From what I've learned, just from my own self and my own lived experiences and my own going about my journey as a multi passionate entrepreneur, is that you need some things at some time and you need something else at another time. It's not like all of it's wrong or all of it's right. So I want you to think about that. What if you didn't have to choose between which one you always use all the time and something that you're thinking that, well, I can't use this over here because I'm using this over here? What if none of that was like ever a criteria for decision making? The reason why I think it's important for us to really consider that it's probably going to behoove us to really think about the fact that sometimes we're going to need to do thought work, like our brains, we're going to need to use that as a modality for processing our emotions. And sometimes we're going to really just need to be in our emotions and being able to understand that that's the space that we are making decisions from, especially if you are a sacral, if you have a sacral authority, or if you have an emotional authority, then that's definitely going to be something that you need to take into consideration. Or even if you're not into human design and you recognize that you are a person who really makes a lot of decisions from her head, and you want to get more into the aspect of looking at your emotions and seeing how your emotions are actually creating your results. I'm sorry, creating the actions that you're taking. It's super, super important. Like, they all kind of work in tandem, but they are necessary at different points. So excuse me. So here's what it is that I've really been doing in regards to both of those things, the thought work and making my decisions from my emotions. First of all, like I said, you really have to be aware, like self-awareness is like key as to what's going on in the moment with you, what's going on with your brain, what's going on with your emotions. Are you prone to being all up in your, well, I feel like this, and so I'm definitely not going to do that. Like, are you prone to being in your emotions and allowing that to be your space for guidance, and not ever processing, like using your brain for the thought work to process what's really going on with your emotions? Not saying that you need to take what it is that you learn from that information from processing and use that to make decisions, but moreover, use that information that you got from processing your emotions with your brain. Like, what's going on with these emotions? Oh, it's because I'm thinking this way. And then it's going to help you to get yourself into a grounded space. Like, for me, I have to wait. I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator. And it's always who of me to, I get all these radical ideas and I'm just like, oh, I want to go, I want to act on them all. Just got to do it right now. And so I have been leaning into just waiting, like not making a decision, even though I really want to move on it. Maybe I'll do a couple of things in regards to it, but it's kind of like behind the scenes. Like I'm not out here telling everybody about it until I've actually like really made a decision on it, come into like a more grounded space. And what looks grounded for me may not look grounded for you because I'm hyper bunny on crack over here. I'm just like, oh, everything's like, let's go, let's do. So but knowing that I'm giving myself the space to wait and then ask myself the question again and see how I feel. And if I still feel the same way, then it's definitely a hell yes. And then if I don't, then I know that, okay, if I want to know what's going on, sometimes I don't want to know what's going on, but if I want to know why, then I can go check my thoughts. Why it is that I feel right now that this isn't something that I want to move on? And I can check my brain and say, oh, okay, you know what? According to my emotions, according to my body and everything, my brain is saying, oh, okay, you know what? You really don't have energy for that. So I think it's a little bit different when you talk about thought work and you're doing thought work for the sole reason of helping you to have a different perspective. What I mean by that is this: you can change your perspective about something, you can change your emotions about something with your thoughts. So if you are thinking, oh man, doing a Facebook Live is going to be hard. Well, then when you think that way, then what emotions are going to pop up? It's going to feel overwhelming. You're going to feel defeated, taken aback. You're not going to do it. So the action is that you won't do it, right? And the result is that you're not getting visible. You're not out there connecting with the people who really need you. But you can also use thought work to look at the emotions that you're already having just to see what it is that's going on in your head. Like it's almost becomes at that point like a self-awareness type of tool. So you start with, how am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed about the Facebook Live. And why are you feeling overwhelmed? Then you go and look at your brain. Well, I'm feeling overwhelmed because I feel like my hair is not done, my nails aren't done, my house is not clean, the background is crazy, my kids are screaming and running around and like all the things, right? And so then from there, you can basically take each of those thoughts and you can work on, excuse me, you can work on disproving them all. Is that really true? Do you really need to have your hair done? My hair is not done. My nails are not done. My kid rather is in there. My home is not immaculate, so do I really need that in order to go on a Facebook Live? No, I really don't. Is that really the truth? Is it true? Truth. And then you get to counter with kind of like the Byron Katie, like 4 questions and a turnaround type of thing of who would I be without that thought? Who would I be without that thought? In this case, who would I be without the thought that I needed to have all of these things in order to do a Facebook Live and really reconnect with what soul is calling you to do? And also too, in regards to the thought work, when you are leaning into your emotions like I've been doing, the thought work really comes in handy to help you to see who you're being, like who you're being in the moment of your emotions. Because like, for example, I'm a hyper person. I'm always on 10. Like I'm just like this is calm. I'm calm. I'm calm. And I think I'm appearing to be calm. I think I am. But I'm a very, very hyper person. So when I try to make my decisions from, someone is calling me, I am not answering the phone. When I try to make my decisions from a space of being in this whole hyper modality, it's not that big of a deal because that's just naturally my personality. But what I have to do is to really just stop and allow myself to have space and time to, what's the word I want to use? To kind of meld in and let things kind of just process through my system. And that's really hard for me because, as I said earlier, I want to go. And I want to go fast. I get an idea, boom, I'm ready to go. And so having to wait has been a challenge for me, but it is something that has been very, very valuable in helping me to see who am I being in the moment of not being able to wait. Like even that, it's just like, okay, then I get to use my brain. It's like, oh, who are you being because you don't want to wait? It's that kind of thing. Like you get to use them both together when it's necessary. You get to use your thought work along with your emotional based decision making processes, and you get to really discover and really up level like who you are, being the best version of you, and really understanding why you're in the space that you're in, why you have the results that you have, and how to go about changing them. Like it really does give you the opportunity to shift whatever perspectives, whatever thoughts you're having, to kind of look at your emotions and decide is a good word, and decide that you're not going to be the person who's going to make decisions from this space, because that's where you know that you don't need to be in. That's not the emotions you need to be in when making your decisions. So I hope that this has been helpful. Let me know what you came up with. If you are into human design and you know what your human design type is, I love to hear about how this kind of is connected with how you make decisions. And if you don't know anything about human design, then if you join the community, which is my community-based, community-driven mastermind like membership for multi-passionate entrepreneurs, if you join it before January, the end of January 2022, then I am giving you a free business focused human design reading. So we're going to go over key elements in your chart so that you'll know what you're be able to create a business vision for yourself, how you're meant to show up, and how you're meant to connect with soulmate clients, and excuse me, and why you are in the conditioned thinking that you are, and how to start really moving out of that conditioned thinking into the blueprint that is just naturally you, who you are naturally inclined to be, the things that you're naturally inclined to do. And I think we all kind of have like these feelings like in our core, like right, if it just like cut right down through the middle here, it's like deep in there. And I think we all know that we have them, but we don't really necessarily know that they are the truth for us and what's going to actually help us to create the life that we want, because we've been taught so many other things that are not the same, and don't appear to be right, and are not in alignment with what we really, really feel deep down inside. So that's what human design will help you with, is to help you kind of like open all that up. I know that's a gruesome like visualization of you opening up your chest and getting down to the deep, deep core and pulling that out. I'm like, oh, here it is. It's my box. Let me open it up. Yes, exactly. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I knew it all along because that's what I felt, but I didn't know that it was actually something I could do because that's not what I've been taught. And oh, look, here it is, something else in my box. Just like I knew that I was just naturally inclined to do these types of things. And these are my desires, my soul-led desires. And I'm just so like this is just who I am. But I never really knew that I could actually, what is this on my lip? I didn't know that I could actually like do these types of things that I just really feel deep down in my soul, that I'm just naturally inclined and naturally connected to. I didn't know that I could do those things because I've been taught the exact opposite. And that's usually what's going on with our conditioned mind. So I really want you guys to have a human design reading. And again, the membership, it is for multi-passionate entrepreneurs. And when I say community-based, community-driven, and mastermind-like, I truly, truly mean that. We are there supporting each other. And I love that as multi-passionates, we truly understand each other's struggles. But more importantly, we also get that we have these wacky kind of unconventional and out of the box type of dreams and desires and passions for our life and for our business. And you're not ridiculed. Like you're like, go girl, let's do this. Let's get on the brainstorming mastermind calls that we have monthly, or the goal setting and planning calls that we have monthly. And let me help you figure out how to do that. And someone else is like, it's just like mastermind. Like I'm not a coach running the show. We're all here to help each other. So that's what I really love about the mastermind. And I think that you'll find it very beneficial. So join us. freedomsupply society.com/the community. So I will see you guys there. And remember, life is happening now. Live free. Bye.